In the silent stillness of a forgotten clock tower, an old hunched-over clay figure stands alone. This is the Timekeeper, his weathered hands trembling with the weight of countless years. Below his lofty perch, the world lies frozen in time, a monochrome tableau of motionless figures and muted landscapes. The giant clock that once governed the rhythm of life now stands silent, its hands frozen in place, for at its heart, a crucial gear is missing. The Timekeeper's eyes, small orbs of deep-set clay, scan the dusty shelves and cluttered workbenches of his domain. His search is desperate, urgent, as if time itself, though halted, is slipping away from him. Amidst the detritus of a lifetime spent tending to the great clock, his gaze falls upon an object long forgotten, a small, ornate music box. With trembling fingers, he lifts the box, disturbing years of settled dust. As he wipes it clean, a flicker of recognition sparks in his eyes. The box's intricate carvings and delicate filigree tell a story not just of craftsmanship, but of a shared moment, a cherished memory. In his mind's eye, he sees a younger version of himself, presenting this very box to someone he loved, their laughter echoing through time. The Timekeeper cradles the music box gently, as if holding a fragile bird. With a mixture of hope and trepidation, he opens the lid, but where there should be a lilting melody, there is only silence. The mechanism inside lies still, as frozen as the world beyond the tower walls. Determination etches itself across the Timekeeper's clay features. He hunches over his workbench, the music box before him like a patient awaiting surgery. From a drawer, he retrieves a set of tiny tools, each one a testament to his lifetime of precision work. With painstaking care, he begins to probe the delicate inner workings of the box. But time has taken its toll on more than just the music box. The Timekeeper's hands, once steady and sure, now quiver and shake. Each attempt to manipulate the minuscule gears and springs is a battle against his own aging body. Frustration builds within him, a tide of emotion threatening to overwhelm his fragile form. Yet he persists, driven by a force he can't quite name. Is it hope, desperation, or perhaps the stubborn refusal to let one more thing slip away into the silence of forgotten time? Whatever the reason, he continues his delicate work, his clay brow furrowed in concentration. Hours pass, marked only by the shifting of shadows across the tower floor. The Timekeeper's world narrows to the music box before him, to the intricate dance of cogs and wheels within. And then, just as despair threatens to claim him, something changes. With a final, trembling adjustment, he nudges a tiny piece into place. He holds his breath, waiting for the first notes of a long-lost melody, but the box remains silent. The Timekeeper's shoulders slump, defeat etching itself into the lines of his face. But then a miracle. From the depths of the music box, a single, glowing musical note emerges. It floats upward, a mote of pure light and sound in the dusty air of the tower. The Timekeeper's eyes widen in wonder as a second note follows, then a third. Soon, a gentle cascade of luminous notes fills the air around him, weaving together into a melody both familiar and strange. The notes dance and swirl, their soft light casting moving shadows across the tower walls. They seem alive, imbued with a magic that defies the stillness of the frozen world. The Timekeeper watches, transfixed, as the melody takes shape before him, a visible, tangible thing of beauty and memory. As the glowing notes continue their ethereal dance, a realization dawns upon the Timekeeper. His search for the missing gear, the physical piece he thought would restart the great clock, had been misguided. What was truly missing wasn't something that could be held in his hands, but something far more precious and intangible. With newfound purpose, the Timekeeper rises from his workbench. He moves towards the great clock mechanism, its massive gears looming above him like silent sentinels. The glowing musical notes follow, drawn to him as if by an unseen force. Gently, reverently, the Timekeeper begins to guide the notes upward. They flow like a stream of liquid light, weaving between the motionless gears and springs of the clock. Higher and higher they climb, until they reach the empty space at the very heart of the mechanism, the place where the missing gear should be. There, something magical happens. The swirling notes begin to coalesce, their light intensifying. Slowly, they take shape, forming a new gear knot of metal, but of pure, shimmering light and music. It fits perfectly into the empty space, as if it had always been meant to be there. For a moment, all is still. Then, with a deep, resonant sound that seems to shake the very foundations of the tower, the great clock begins to tick. The luminous gear pulses with each movement, sending waves of light and music cascading through the mechanism. As the clock comes to life, so too does the world below. Color seeps back into the landscape, like watercolors bleeding across a canvas. The gray stillness gives way to vibrant hues-rich greens of trees, warm reds of brick buildings, the deep blue of a sky to long forgotten. Movement returns in a gradual wave, leaves rustle in a gentle breeze. A bird takes flight from a nearby rooftop. In the streets below, people begin to stir, awakening from their timeless slumber. The town comes alive with sound and motion, a symphony of life accompanying the clock's steady rhythm. The timekeeper watches it all from his high perch, a mixture of emotions playing across his face. There's joy at seeing the world renewed, tinged with a bittersweet sadness for all the time that has passed. But most of all, there's a sense of peace of a long journey finally completed. As the sun begins to set, painting the sky in hues of gold and pink, the timekeeper stands at the great window of his tower. Below him, the town bustles with renewed energy. Lights flicker on in windows, laughter and music drift up from the streets. The world is alive again, moving forward in time's endless dance. The timekeeper's clay hands no longer tremble as he rests them on the windowsill. His posture, though still bent with age, seems lighter somehow. A small, peaceful smile plays at the corners of his mouth as he watches the living tableau below. In this moment, he understands a truth both simple and profound. Memory is not just a record of the past, but a living force that shapes the present and future. It is the music that keeps time moving, the melody that gives life its rhythm and meaning. As night falls and stars begin to twinkle in the velvet sky, the timekeeper turns away from the window. He moves back towards his workbench, where the small music box still sits. With gentle hands, he closes its lid, but he knows that its magic, the magic of memory and music, will never truly be contained. The great clock continues its steady ticking, a comforting heartbeat for the reawakened world. And in the quiet of his tower, surrounded by the tools of his trade and the memories of a lifetime, the timekeeper settles into his chair. He closes his eyes, listening to the melody that now fills not just the tower, but the whole world beyond, the song of time renewed, of life reclaimed, and of memories cherished.